Okay, that is enough of that. Oh. Hello everybody. Welcome to Left for Random Talk, episode 42.
Hello, 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 and welcome.
Crickets.
We are on time for once. Amazing.
We're well before. Well, we're actually really early. Like, usually we start this at 2. Yeah, but I will be needing to get up and let the dogs outside during break time, whenever that is.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I'm all for rambling, just we shouldn't really ramble too much.
Fair enough. I don't think we're going to have too much of that today. It's a bit more streamlined than usual.
Mm-hmm.
So both, hopefully.
Also, people
Now
might
let me
notice my
ramble
mic
on
sounds
about
different.
this. Yes, I noticed that.
So, 2 things happened. One, Lycan crashed in Warframe so hard during an orb heist that it migrated to my computer and I had to restart.
Jeez.
And then I had to uninstall a program that allows me to change my voice. It wasn't actually working. And that caused the entire audio driver to kill itself. I had to restart again and unplug and replug my headset, and it works a lot better now.
Peculiar.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so let's get into the topics of the evening, and we begin with Warframe DevStream 124, the overview.
Mm-hmm.
Anthem's latest problem, new patch brings in bug that bricks the PS4, warning to all players. Talking about the Silent Hill games, specifically the newer ones, and how one man tried to reinvent a series for his own interests. Mortal Kombat 11 story trailer drops, new information, and talking about what we expect of the game. Revs reviews, Crackdown 3, a game that feels like it's from 2009. Arc update plus structures, Kibble reworks, HH knows this better, and we will bookend this with the monthly things.
Yeah,
as always.
I literally, like, when you said that, mentioned Anthem, I remembered, oh wait, Arc had a big update.
Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, so let's begin with what basically our show's kind of revolved around as of late. And that is, of course, Warframe.
Oh boy.
Because as we all know, we can never leave it alone anymore.
Nope.
Yep. So, I believe it was this Thursday or last Thursday, I should say, give or take.
Yeah, it was last week because I was in that chat.
Yes. The dev stream dropped, and well, we've got a lot of new information that came out and basically has, like, honestly, there's so much crap that I was afraid I was going to put down everything in the topics, and it was just going to override everything else. So let me just load up the official overview here. So, we have some structure. Yeah. And then everything just crashes horribly. Yeah.
We can talk about, like, while you're doing that, is one of the updates is the new ability screen that shows a little video of what it does.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised they haven't done that sooner.
I'm interested in it too, except that, ironically, Quiet Shallow brought up something of an issue with the videos, and that is they are way too fucking small.
All that work, all that hard work,
and it's just too small.
Yeah, but
they really go ahead.
I am still surprised that they haven't done this sooner. I I used to play a game called Blade and Soul. It's an MMORPG, very anime style.
Mm-hmm.
And when you highlight a class that you want to play as, it'll show a video of all the different abilities that you can do. So there's a gunslinger, there's a sword dancer, there's a guy with a giant axe, there's a guy with a giant sword, there's a guy that punches things and makes things explode with each punch. And it shows you what they do and how they do it. And I remember seeing other people play different MMORPGs of similar caliber, the anime style, open world kind of stuff that is weird. And they all show little videos of what their abilities are and what they do and how to do them. But then you go to Warframe and you don't have that until now.
Yeah. I think it's... Honestly, I don't know why that wasn't done before. I'm just guessing maybe it wasn't a priority, or they said, hey, we should add this, and they never did till now. Probably. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, here we go. So it's all loaded up. So, let's go. So, first up, the TennoCon is happening, as expected, 2019, and a new armor set has been given out for those who bought the tickets. It is not that good, honestly.
Oh,
I don't like it. It looks very meh. Like, I didn't know what to build, so I'm just gonna wear a bunch of, like, triangles and call it a day.
Oh, so pair and sequence.
Kinda. But someone pointed out, apparently this is the same armor as last year, just inverted. Which, yeah, not too surprising.
Look at all those pedestal primes.
Yes.
That must have cost
But yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing about this particular armor set, and that is, I think DE doesn't want to truly alienate people who can't go to TennoCon, so they don't make the armor so worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
It's just usually it's very ugly, and nobody really wants to wear it.
Yeah. It's kind of like in the early days of like Minecon. Each and every year that they had Minecon, it was a totally different cape. And you could always tell who went to the very first one if they had the bright red creeper face. And then, like, the next year, I believe it was an iron... No, it was a piston. Which was weird. It was like a green piston. And then there was the iron golem. And then I think recently it was an enderman, which I actually should have gotten, because I was at Minecon.
Really?
Well, Minecon is less going to a place for a convention. It's more stream it in a studio. And I was there. I was in the chat. I was actually watching it through Minecraft.net, the actual website, and I never got a Minecon cape.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
But then people can mod the capes and everything, and it just becomes less, oh, I went to Minecon, and more like, oh, you probably got that off of, a mod somewhere.
Well, the good thing about Minecraft is that if you have mods installed that change your cosmetics, nobody else is going to see it.
Yeah.
So you can have this amazing cape, no one's going to fucking see it.
Pretty much.
So, fuck
but
you,
yeah,
Jim.
I don't particularly like this armor. Again, it screams like we don't want to alienate people who don't go, so the people who do go, we're just going to have this very ugly get-up. So
it looks like the Yahoo symbol. Like, look at the legs. It looks like Yahoo.
the Warframe, sponsored by Yahoo. That would be hilarious. No. Like in the distant future of Warframe, many internet providers have gone, except Yahoo. Somehow it survived.
Somehow Google will not die. It just destroys more and more video services.
Yes. So, yeah, you mentioned the ability screen. And the big thing right now that the dev stream has shown is new enemies into the game.
Oh my god,
And
I was not expecting how fast the Thumper tank was gonna move.
the Thumper tank just speeds.
Like, I saw it sprint towards the players, and I thought, oh god, where's Lycan to say, oh lord, he coming? Holy shit! We are never gonna be able to beat that thing if it moves that fast.
As fast as fuck, boy!
Yay! Jesus, they need to slow it down.
I think it's not supposed to be that fast. I think someone honestly might have made a mistake and just made it sprint like crazy.
I think they mostly did that for fun.
Probably.
And also to test the animations, because when it comes to Warframes, if you put a max rank sprint mod on a Warframe that's naturally supposed to be very slow at max level, their animations are really weird.
Oh yeah, but honestly, yeah, you could tell that it's not supposed to be that fast based on like how legs were extremely jittery when it was moving. You saw it.
Yeah.
It looked like it was kind of flying from it. It's like,
but I think they mostly did that just for the showcase, because like, if it moves really, really slow, then also it's a dev build. They're testing things in dev builds.
Yes, for as we know, this particular robot gets stuck on trees very easily.
Oh yeah.
And apparently hates trees like there's no one's business. Actually, funnily enough, when again to shout out Quiet Shallow again, when she when she did the compilation video, like just to go over the highlights of it all, she when I believe it was Steve, I want to say, when Steve said that's how you beat it, you just lure it to the trees. She added in a Dark Souls victory achieved sign over the tank just getting stuck there. It was so funny.
Oh god, it's like an arc. You gotta pray that this thing will get stuck on a rock. Like that is the the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Well, it's actually the Tyrannosaurus Dominion, but still a D-Rex. Heh. It's an amazing mount unless there's a rock. Then it gets stuck, and you have to back up and maneuver this thing around it. When they're not tamed or have somebody riding on it, they are dumb as fuck. They will get stuck on rocks, and that is a godsend.
To be honest, I'm going to be honest about the tank. I think I know already how to beat it. I think what you're supposed to do is like let it thump on the ground a bit, and then those pistons will like glow, and then you're supposed to shoot it.
Yeah.
Like disable it and like take out a power core. Like honestly, this thing does not look like a very dangerous, in quotations, dangerous tank. It seems like something.
You actually see this thing right now in the plains, not moving.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it is. It's across the lake from the Stiletto. There's a camp that has one of those things just sitting there, but it's not moving. But it's really
probably
tight.
needing to get it. Yeah, probably needing to get it powered. And actually, to be quite honest, again, because I was a former Star Wars fan, I've seen this kind of vehicle used before. But I'm honestly surprised that it's this small. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The CIS seismic tank. That's what I expected this tank to be, like that big. I didn't expect it to be like slightly taller than a Warframe. I mean, I'm not disappointed. It's just. Go ahead.
I saw it and I started thinking of the movie The Incredibles. Just how stupid it was. What I liked the most about that part of the stream is when the camera panned over and it's stuck in the trees again.
But yeah, I'm actually curious to see like how, if this is actually like a proxy, like the Corpus, or if it's actually like a tank with the Grineer pilot. That'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
I doubt we'll be able to use it, but still. So yeah, that was a thumper,
It'd be
and
fucking hilarious if
now
we could.
it's
And
like,
the
yes,
Grenier
fear
are
me and my
none the
walking
wiser
tank.
too. Like, here's something that bothers me in certain video games. When you steal the enemy vehicle and they immediately know it's you.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
But in, like, Sly Cooper, they don't know that it's you until you shoot them. I want this, like, I know it's never gonna happen, but what I want is that the Warframe hijacks the tank, and the Grenier don't know it's you, even if you start pummeling them. Because, like, we've seen very clearly these guys are not very smart.
Yeah. Well, the individual trooper. So, yeah. Alright, so let's move right into the next enemy group we've been shown off. A new faction, actually. The Amalgams. This was also shown with the Gas City rework. If I can find like the tile set they showed off, I will more than happily do it. But yeah. So the Gas City is looking quite it's looking quite impressive. I like how everything is looking so far. It looks more it looks sleek, but it looks functional versus like the original like the current tile set that looks very like industrial, but it doesn't look practical. Like this place now looks more like what the Corpus would make, more or less. Honestly, looking forward to when it gets out. I mean, I am gonna miss the old tile set. Don't get me wrong. It's just I want to see this new stuff too, and be like, you know what, this feels right, in a way. Anyway.
Somebody's house caught fire outside.
Oh no! Is it like close to you?
I just heard the fire truck going by.
Is it any? Is it close to you, or is it like?
No, I think it's like on the other side of the town.
Okay, good.
The thing is, like, I'm right up the hill from the fire station, so they always have to go past our house.
Okay. So yeah. So the new faction they showed off is called the Amalgam, and these are some of the most unusual enemies I think we've ever seen in Warframe. And basically, what the Amalgams are, they are just as the name suggests, they are basically amalgamations of Corpus technology and sentient technology. But it's very clear that one is overtaking the other. I don't know if we can put this. No, I don't think we can.
The amalgamation that grabs that Corpus, that's the one that concerns me the most.
Yeah, so far what I've been able to like kind of understand is that there are, let me think, there is 2 MOA amalgamations, two Ospreys, and 1 crewman. And from what I can tell, it's from what I'm seeing, it looks like the MOAs are in control of the sentient lower body. Even though they're like upside down half the time, it's very clear that it's the MOA that's in control.
Mm-hmm.
However, the crewman clearly isn't part of the what's the word? Isn't part of the Corpus. It looks very obvious that he is acting on his own. And if you pay close attention to the helmet, like if you can find a still of this guy and look at his helmet, look at how his armor is built, it's very clear this is fused onto the body. This isn't a helmet you can just put on. And already people are starting to speculate, does Hun Hao or the other sentients, do they have control over these guys? And I believe that the amalgam agents are under the control of the sentients, because according to DE, what they're kind of leading on and suggesting is that the amalgams are like they're acting on their own. They're completely independent from the corpus proper. So there's that to consider. Their powers are very unique. There is the the shield stealing. Then we have a very bizarre looking. Actually, I think we can show this one off since it's not a video. Yeah, I think this works. So yeah, we've got that weird. I don't even know what to call that, to be honest.
It looks sort of like those Silent Hill creatures that are just legs and legs.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god, it took me a minute because I was like, where have I seen this?
It took me, the person who's not a horror fan, to mention something that is horrifying.
Oh no.
Oh no. Imagine that walking towards you in a dark hallway.
Now you reminded of that stupid "I smell pennies" thing. I smell pennies.
Thank you, Snow. Silent Hill 2 mannequins.
Yeah. Oh god, that is like honestly creepy. Like to think about it. So, is there somewhere here a fucking pyramid head corpus now? Is he gonna spawn somewhere?
I love Pyramid Head.
It's gonna happen. There's gonna be an agent that has a triangle head for some apparent reason. And given DE's like art style, they can say, no, it's original. Fuck you, Capcom.
I mean, technically it is, because the mannequins are like, what, made of flesh and cloth? These guys are made of metal. So
and flesh on, like, technically flesh, but...
So does that mean that we get the scene with... Oh, no. Please no.
It's going to be a reference somewhere. We're not going to see it, but we're going to hear it, unfortunately. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it.
Yep.
So, those are the amalgams. There is also one that has a giant sentient turret on its head. Same color, it's purple too. And what I found interesting is that, well, first, the one with the legs on legs, it actually has guns, too.
Yeah.
Which I found very interesting. Like, this thing could shoot and walk towards you. It can flip onto its second set of legs, the Moa legs, and use its limbs as a weapon. And, of course, you can't shoot through the hole in the center. You have to. I think you have to target either the Moa or the limbs specifically.
Yeah.
So I honestly think you have to target the Moa head to kill it, given like that's the connecting point. Anyway, so the sentient bone Moa is very interesting. I think it's like it will work like a railgun Moa. Like it'll target you and the projectile will fire at you and might bounce off the walls if you're not careful. However, its other ability is just basically what I call the tuning fork, in which it buries its turret into the ground and just starts mimicking Thumper, just thumping into the ground and generating, I guess, more power. Like, again, that's the problem with like what DE did. They didn't really show off the creature's abilities too well. It was just kind of slapdash and hurried, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, they really should, like, calm down for like a few seconds and just try to keep it under control, I think. So there's that, and then we've referenced the weird fleshy flying sentience.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that thing is.
So and we're talking about the one that grabs the guy, right?
Yeah.
Also, I can hear myself.
No, sorry.
Semi-related, semi-unrelated. I was in Cetus a couple days ago trying to help our newest clan member understand the game, which was kind of infuriating. It's like, okay, go through the door and exit Cetus. Leave Cetus? Yeah. He opens his menu, leave Cetus. Are you on the planes? No, I'm on my orbiter. What the fuck?
Fool!
I can understand that. But I was in Cetus, and I started snooping around, like, doing my usual thing. Being a little explorer. And I noticed that the symbol of the flying sentient that we saw in Mask of the Revenant was everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not just like the cave, like the painting on the wall when you go to Onko. It's also on the flags.
You think that that's this creature?
I think whatever corpus went to Cetus saw these paintings and flag work of this flying sentient, asked about it, learned about it, and got the idea.
From what I'm seeing, I am looking at this creature. From what I'm seeing, I don't think this corpus is volunteering to be captured. I think he's being caught against his will and is being used by this floating creature, like a, how do I put it? Like a maybe like a battery, honestly,
Likely.
or something to give the creature a sense of, this is where I'm looking.
We must summon the Flightolon. No. Fucking no. But that
Actually, wait a minute.
that sentiment really concerns me because the corpus are all about controlling their proxies. And if I remember correctly, a corpus created the sentience.
Yeah.
And the sentience like rose up against their creators. So this sounds like it's all going to repeat itself.
History repeat. Yeah, exactly. And from what I can tell, also I'm looking at the creature, and I noticed something. Its second set of arms, the bigger ones, are corpus gloved, and the body, before it grabs the corpus, looks human. I think this is another amalgam that they just kind of merged into something new, and it's just kind of become hyper aggressive.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like this is something that just cannot be controlled and intends to use the corpus that it finds as either living batteries, living shields, or something far worse.
I thought
But
of
still, yeah, exactly.
that weird snake thing from the movie 9.
Oh yeah,
That thing was weird.
I can see it.
But
I can honestly see it.
It reminds me of like the snake thing from the movie 9 and Tall Boys from Dishonored.
I also see it.
It still just concerns me.
Like I said, it's clear that the corpus are playing with things they're not supposed to be, and without the organ to stop them, they're just going about, and they're going to make things far worse than what was originally encountered. Let's see. So there's that. Right. So we've spoken a bit about the amalgams.
Yeah.
They will also be dropping amalgam mods. Or they're mods with like an alt fire system. So like shotgun medic, 85% fire rate, and 45 revive speed, and things of that nature. And obviously, given DE's track record, it's not all positive. It's just going to be like one's going to be better than the other. Unfortunately. Because as we know, we can't be powerful. We always have to get limitations.
Yeah.
Because why not? On top of that, the planes of Eidolon are also getting completely remastered to match with the new work like they did with Fortuna. And now they've actually made it look like planes,
Yeah.
Like actually there's hills and things. It's not just a flat surface.
It looks less and less like my home area, and more like it should be.
Actually, you know what's funny? This all looks like what Fallout 70, and that is hilarious to think about. Like this, everything that DE is showing off is what Todd Howard tried to buy people on by pretending to make Appalachia look so nice and beautiful. And they're just doing it out of like, hey, we need to make this better for the fans.
Yeah.
So suck it, Todd Howard. Let's see. Actually, I've actually been thinking a while, and I've actually been wondering. Do you think DE will make the planes larger, like to match with the Valis, or do you think they'll just keep it as is?
I think they might keep it as is.
Hmm.
I mean, I am curious about some of the things. I can hear myself again. I am curious about.
I don't know what causes that.
I'm curious about some of the things that are outside of the wall, like when you go all the way to the west, like towards the mountains. There's something on the other side of the wall that looks like a refinery of some sort.
Yeah.
And of course, going all the way to the east, the ocean, there is that windmill out there. And I've actually gone out there. There's nothing to do. But there's a lot of stuff with the Plains of Ylon that I would love to explore, but I can't because of the barrier.
Yeah, I mean, you can. There are ways to like go further out with like the K drive. You know, it is entirely possible for you to explore a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really about it. You know, there's very little else to do once you're out on the water. And you know, to this day, I'm still trying to jump onto the bridge in Cetus, you know, to lead to the tower. And I come so close to actually grabbing the broken bridge and maybe even getting on it. And I just keep missing horribly.
In Cetus?
I am... Yeah, in Cetus. You know that there's the Unum Tower.
I've tried.
I've almost touched it. Like, every time I miss I found a way to get closer. And every time I jump, I just miss grabbing the ledge of the bridge by just maybe an inch. I can taste the secrets. I know there's a way to reach it.
Every time I would try and do that, I would actually fall through the bridge.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe not a solid object then.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I really hope DE hasn't forgotten the Unum and like I actually hope one day, just because there's the secret room. Interesting idea, LT. Bullet jump enhancing mod. I'll keep that in mind. But that's the thing. Like just like how there's the secret room in Fortuna that has the what's it called? That has, you know, the little meeting place, and there's even more secret areas to go there if you really know how to look. I'm convinced that we could go to the tower. Like, we don't need to go all the way in. You could cheap it out and just have a balloon come down, pick us up, and then we can go up there.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be fine with that too. It's just we've been wondering about this tower ever since, you know, the planes came out. And let's be honest, there's very little else to do on the plains. Like, lore-wise, it's not a very interesting place. There's the Eidolon, we've solved the mystery, we've rebuilt Gara, you know, we did the Plague Star, we've dealt with the ghouls, and, you know, recently we've done the Revenant stuff, and that's the only one that's closest to possibly the Unum. Like I said, this place is incredibly boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I hope DE lets us go there just so.
Yeah, the Unum is.
Yeah, she's. Yeah, she's inside. Well, she is the tower in quotes, and that's the thing. I believe that the person is there. We just need to go and talk with them instead of just talking through Anka, who just talks in riddles. It's like, motherfucker, I don't care about. River speak up. Let me go see this weird lady you talk about.
Yeah.
And then so I may judge her. I mean, what? So yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, they're adding now. Just like how the Orvalis, there are guys who will give you bounties.
Yeah,
you know,
those little Ostron tents.
Yeah, actually, they're Grenier encampments, but they've been taken over. Yeah. And, you know, you just Uh, oh yeah, they are taking the tower apart for. It's just she tells them where what parts of the tower to take and what parts of the tower to leave, so it can be.
Yeah.
That's how it's worked. So, yeah, basically, so now, just like in the Valis, we have the opportunity to go into the plains now and just pick the bounties as we go along. Which, for someone like me who's PC complete, when you enter the plains through Cetus, this is a godsend. Now I can like do what I need to without having to deal with all the people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yay! I'm free now. I can deal with this bullshit.
Yay!
Let's see. Right. So we've mentioned the encampments. Let's see. Mentioned the new mods, new sentient. Yeah, planes update. Limbo. Oh, right. Limbo's deluxe skin. And Nyx's deluxe skin.
Sentient boy.
I was actually a bit like surprised this is Limbo's deluxe skin. I was kind of like, why? Why is it this? Here we go. So for people curious, this is the skin, who has a weird like left side cape for some reason. So yeah,
I like that he has a long nose.
I question the wings. Like, why is this here? Like, why did he decide to break more war great swords and just staple them onto his arms and said, "This is how I look"?
You went from gentleman to guy with a long nose.
I think this is supposed to be in reference to like a tarot card figure or something in Magic.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to.
I mean, there is a weapon that's coming out alongside him that are tarot cards.
Oh yeah, the throwing stars. It's a skin for the throwing stars.
Yeah.
But no, I believe this design for him is supposed to be exactly, and this is what's led a lot of people to believe that Revenant is a Limbo in the deluxe form. They just got sucked in with the sentience. I mean, look at the design, look at some of the aspects. It's possible, but I don't believe it, personally.
Yeah.
And this has been kind of the problem with, like, the deluxe skins as they've come out, and that is figuring out how the hell they frames history, you know? Like, I know that some of the, like, the prototype skin, for example, is like considered non-canon, even though DE has said no, it existed in Sentient in the Oricon era.
What even are those
But then
feet?
And like Wisp, he has no feet.
It's a bit more like that Trinity skin where it's just fine little points.
Mm. Like he's just stabbing the earth with every step he takes.
It's like that Family Guy character whose limbs are all wooden pegs.
Yes. But yeah, like I said, I find the skin interesting. I do want to like explore and wonder like was the Limbo like their attempt at creating a warframe out of sentient components purely, and this is the end result. Oh, that's right. What does he look like when he takes the hat off and like the idol on him?
I bet he just takes off his nose.
He takes off.
Noodle of a nose.
Yeah, that is so weird. I think that's supposed to be like I believe it's like a Chinese talisman thing.
Yeah,
going on there.
it's like one of those talismans that are on vampires.
Yeah, the hopping.
Jiangxi.
I forget the name. Yangshi.
Again, played Blade and Soul. They were fucking everywhere.
That'd actually be funny. Like there was an animation for him that he just takes on the Yangshi's like jumping.
Jiangxi.
That would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's Limbo Deluxe. I look forward to seeing how it works, how it looks in game. And the other deluxe skin is actually a second deluxe skin for Nyx. This is actually kind of surprising and unprecedented. Specifically unprecedented. I honestly...
God, that skin is beautiful.
Is it just me, or does it look like it belongs on Mirage?
A lot of people said that it looked like it belonged to Octavia.
Can also see that. Yeah, here we are. Nyx has already had a deluxe skin before.
Yeah. It was that
she's
Nemesis
had
one, right? Or was it the alien looking one?
Yeah, the Nemesis skin. She's now the second. She's now the first Warframe to have 2 deluxe skins. And I'm not counting Excalibur's Dex skin as another deluxe skin, no. I'm talking purely a skin you can buy in the market for platinum. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's honestly kind of surprising. I question it, if anything.
It looks really nice.
I like it. It gives her this sense of Renaissanceian nobility.
Yeah.
Also, okay, Trinity. Could also fit for her.
Yeah, only instead of a lobster tail, it's just a peacock.
Yes, it's the true peacock.
We both went different noises.
I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah,
I was trying to
make a jester
as much as possible. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Well, that's why I said Mirage, because she is technically the jester frame.
Yeah, she's a Harlequin frame jester.
Yes. That said, though, the where is
That's
it?
the wrong thing.
Just let me find it. Did Mirage? No, Mirage hasn't had a deluxe skin yet.
That's weird.
Am I the only one who thinks that this was supposed to be Mirage's deluxe skin, and at some point?
I think so too.
Yeah, it could have been someone said, no, let's put it on Nyx, but Nyx already has one. Forget it, let's do it anyways. And they never looked back. Okay, yeah, the Kuva Jester is a very nice skin, I will admit that. And also, I need to say this while we're talking about Octavia for a second. I don't like the deluxe skin that she has. I think it's... Is it just me, or does it look like it's, like, not modeled properly?
Like her current deluxe skin, the Nemesis one?
Octavia's deluxe skin.
Oh, I'm actually on the wiki right now.
Like, really look at how the colors blend and everything. And it looks like this model hasn't been finished. Like, the textures are still, like, they need brushing and they need adjustments.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the only one who can see it. It's like, I kind of feel bad for her. It's like she gets shafted with this not that interesting deluxe skin, especially with, like, the default colors on, unfortunately. They bleed too much into each other. And it just looks terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So, yeah. So we have the new deluxe skins coming out. Yada, yada. Are we missing something? Sentience. All right.
Let me select the goddamn list. Wisp.
Right. We forgot to mention Wisp. Amazing that we did.
Which is hilarious because nobody can forget Wisp.
Now.
Oh gods, I was in that chat when they showed Wisp, and like, I'm really good at multitasking. I was paying attention to not only the environment but also that ass. Holy shit, she might actually replace Ivara.
Like, this is what I have to say. Is like, you know that she is, with that walk cycle, she is the literal embodiment. Swiggity swooty, I'm coming for.
I saw it and like I started thinking of a Naga, you know, like a snake woman. How they slither about.
Yeah, also that. But she doesn't have a tail. She has non-existent feet and legs.
Well, yeah, but the butt sway is exactly what a Naga does.
Why do I get the feeling they intended her to be a snake and just gave up halfway through?
No, I don't think they intended that.
DE, we secretly intended her to be.
No. I'm still excited for Wisp. I just wish that they would show us her abilities.
That whole stream, no one could pay attention to what DE intended to show off. They just kept staring at Wisp and her swaying ass.
Yep.
And I found that so incredibly hilarious because the whole time this is it's like DE has no one to blame but themselves. I mean, they did this.
I mean, first, nobody would shut up about Mesa Prime's ass.
The caved-in ass, yes.
Snow. I wonder how they'll handle other animation sets on her. Oh, gods.
That's also something I want to figure out. We all know that they have... Every Warframe comes with 2 animations, right?
Noble and Agile.
Exactly. So, I don't know... Did Rebecca say they had the Agile...
They were looking at the Noble.
Okay, so that's the Noble one.
I was focused on both, to be honest. Yeah, same here.
And so if that's the Noble, I want.
What's the
just the same thing? Is it the same thing, just faster?
Last night I was in a call with Liam,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Ostrich. Oh, sorry, Snow. I was in a call with Snow as well. And we mused the idea, what happens if we put her animation on Rhino?
Oh, no.
That armor, diaper, and codpiece just swaying in the wind as he runs.
No, better idea. Atlas Deluxe skin. Or Neja.
That ass. Oh, I want to put that animation on Ivara, though.
Just on everyone. Put it on everyone.
Oh no, I'm putting like the Flex one on a good number of my Warframes, and then like Wisp's Noble on Ivara.
So yes, they didn't show off the abilities. They showed off.
They just showed off her assets.
Exactly. I did love the fact. I did love the fact that when
it would look. Oh yeah, it would look great on Titania.
Oh yeah, because she flies naturally.
Until you press W.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. So it makes sense for her. It does. It would cancel out like that when she floats up into the air and then like you walk, she just comes back to that. Would actually be perfect. Yeah, let's do that.
Her abilities, which are under still might actually change, is Reservoir, Light, Harness, and Revere. Can't tell.
Fair enough. So there's that. I'm going to be honest. I loved it when Rebecca was trying to get them to focus on what was happening. She just murders a bird because that got everyone's attention last time, but it didn't work.
So she went to Neja. Like, didn't she go to Neja Deluxe because he also has an ass?
System when she okay. LT brings up an interesting point. She's able to shift out of existence when she dodges. So she's like Limbo. Interesting.
Yeah.
No, they first went to Excalibur, who has no ass, and everyone. And then Steve's like, I love how the chat's like, oh no. So they bring Tanisha Deluxe. It's like, I love how Rebecca says, I give the people what they want.
I was in that chat. Nobody was happy that she took Wisp away.
Oh, I loved it. Like, I loved every second about it. And, of course, when Quiet did her whole video recapping the whole thing, immediately she adds in Jontron and says, is that where we're going? Straight off the back, this is where we're going. Yeah, everyone just lost their minds collectively when just...
I am...
So?
By the... did you see Hildren's video that came out?
Oh, yeah, I should mention that as well. Hildren has a frame. People are trying to figure out where
she... profile, if you guys didn't understand him. She officially has a profile video.
Yes. And, yeah, she's now in the game. At this moment, people are trying to figure out where she is and where to get her. Myself included.
She's not in the game yet.
You know what I mean. Like, where do the parts drop, and how long will it take me to grind?
I believe she's going to be dropping for a mission update. It's said in the description of the video.
Okay. Awesome. So we've got that. Her abilities are as expected. They're all ability based, and so there's something to keep in mind.
They're all powered by her shield, so definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah. I believe the update is dropping tomorrow, I think. So, yeah. So we've got Hildy. Yeah, I now understand your... When it comes to frames, by the way. I had just built all these other frames. And then these two come out like, mother...
I haven't even gotten Baruch yet. I need a gyro Atmos or gyro things, which is why me and Lycan were like oh, thank you, Snow. Why me and Lycan were in the Orb Valis to begin with. We were trying to get those things and they just weren't dropping. Just
But yeah, honestly, I have Baruch. Like this is my secret. Once the Steam sale begins, I just go there and I just buy the DLC crap from Warframe. That's what I do. And the moment I do, I bought Baruch, I bought Garuda, I bought Revenant.
It's coming
out
today.
A bunch of weapon slots and some weapons. I said, fuck it, I'm done for the year. Oh.
Like, Snow dropped a link in chat. I'll link it to you. Your audio might fuck up like crazy, but eh. This is gonna be interesting. It's like we're going through a sci-fi movie where we have to unbury something on a snowy planet.
Okay, let's see. So this... What it says is the following. The Operation Buried Depths goes as following. Bitter heart of the Orb Valis lies a hidden mystery. Band together to complete first community event of 2019, work to bring a secret to light up in the Operation Buried Depths, take control of Hildren and her advanced and devastating abilities as you unearth clues with your fellow Tenno and strike down enemies with the revamped melee system.
You covered, LT.
Act quick, time is short. Let's see, Operation Buried Depths, Warframe Hildren, animation, yada yada yada. Oh no, they've added in the special effects thing. No, my computer. Why?
You can disable those, you know.
What? Why do you, yeah, I could disable. Ah. They hate me. They flat out despise me. They know I run a crap computer. Like, you know what? You know this player? Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy in particular.
You can get an opticore vandal from doing this operation.
How long is it lasting, and do we have time?
Opticore.
Oh no. Can you imagine what Rhino's going to be doing this whole time? Oh no. I feel sorry for Loki and Vauban now. He's going to be dragging them for this whole thing.
It doesn't say how long it's going to last. It just says that this is now an operation that you can do.
Alright, people. Sorry. We're going out there after the show. What the fuck was that?
Me drumming on my desk. I didn't think it was going to be that crazy.
It sounded like you dropped like a controller. It's like, we're good.
I mean, at least I didn't flip the table.
And they also released Limbo Deluxe now.
Primetime is postponed.
Oh, that's fine. For once, we can actually do our thing without having to worry about time.
They also released Limbo Deluxe. Yep.
Fucking hell! What is it? Okay, so people, at the time of this recording, everything's being released now.
We thought we were going to streamline this.
Oh, okay, and now... Okay, so now we know how Limbo's hat comes off. It's not his nose that comes out. It's a segment of his head opens up when he puts his hands there.
Oh no, Garuda's walking thing leaves blood bubbles.
Exactly, it's like, come on! Why?
Oh, Lycan's gonna love that.
Oh yeah, and the Arca Sayandana, I want that now. Like, I love my Arca Plasmor, I love it to bits, and now we have a cape version. I need it.
Oh, he has a little... It is his nose that moves.
Yeah.
He has like a little circlet with the nose attached, so in case in point, I was right. He takes off his nose.
Yeah, but not the nose itself. You can't use it as a weapon.
Nose.
Could you imagine? Fear me, and my nose whip.
No, we already covered that and rejoiced about it. About the tents and the planes of Eidolon.
Oh man, I'm just like, wow.
This entire show, like, we've only been going for an hour. This entire show got completely derailed by this update. Because we're all super excited.
Again, I blame DE and what they do. They watch the show, see people's lives. I know, let's do this now.
Yes.
Their schedule specifically revolves around this show. Specifically to make us look like liars. Just like how in Two Best Friends, Wooly was a liar and stole pies. They want to make us the liars of Warframe that steal cakes. Specifically cakes.
From looks of things, it'd be cheeseburgers and a hot dog.
There you go. We steal cheeseburgers and hot dogs.
I really need to update these images with like different food. Yeah, the Razorbacks are back. Fuck that.
What
no,
a
thank
time.
you. That was never fun.
Yeah, I hate the Razorback. Just because of
Let me know when the Fomorians come back. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
LT, this is amazing.
Yes.
Well,
I feel so bad for him because he's such a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah. If we can move on.
Yeah. So finally, we can move on to something that had to. Whoa.
We are going to lose our
Like this.
because
This
of
is
this update.
this is what I've noticed. Is the show goes from happy to angry to just sad.
To what the fuck is going on? Just sheer panic.
And then to Terry Crews. That's it. It just ends with an image of Terry Crews. There's nothing else.
Terry Crews?
Yeah, Terry Crews.
Oh. I don't know who that is.
Terry Crews. Old Spice.
Oh, motherfucker! It took me a second. You said Terry Crews. I thought, Tom Cruise?
What? Tom Cruise! There's... Wow, Nogla, I didn't know you got here.
It's because he's my brother's favorite actor.
Tom Cruise. Okay. Moving on. So now that the happy's out of the way, let's get into the sad. And that is, of course, Anthem. So this is like just like how we care about the people who watch this. So at the time of this recording, the Anthem has had an update. And this update has brought in a very, very nasty bug with it, which can and will brick your PS4.
Ouch.
Yes. And this is the type of bricking that forces you to buy a new one. That is how bad it is.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. So, at the time, I'm doing a quick look into... what is this? Just a quick website, and that is the express.co.uk, which is a London-based thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is at this moment, EA and Sony are working together to fix the bricking problem. Please note, I do not trust EA because they would have likely done jack and shit if it wasn't that dangerous and debilitating to their profit line. So let's see. Yeah, a new update has provided over the issue crashing PS4 consoles and reportedly causing hard resets for fans. The problem was first noticed by gamers at the weekend. At the weekend? What? I'm not making this up. It literally says the problem was first noticed by gamers at the weekend.
What the fuck?
Wow, such credible, much impressive. And has led some gamers being affected multiple times, by the way. This isn't a one-and-done issue. This can happen to you a lot. It appears that this can lead to a PS4 needing to be rebooted, with additional reports raising fears that it could break the console. EA Help Support account from Twitter made an announcement at the start of the week, revealing that they are looking for help from fans to fix the problem. Not themselves. They're asking fans to help them.
What the fuck?
Dumbasses. Mm-hmm. And since then, another report has been posted from BioWare, this time confirming they are working with Sony PlayStation to fix the issue. Head of live services at BioWare, Chad Robertson, shared the latest news and situation, telling fans on Twitter, and I quote, "We're investigating reports of a rare crash with Anthem on PS4 that can cause power down of the console. May require a restart with power button or unplugging the console first. Working closely with Sony and any engineers on it. We'll update as we make progress and a fix." End quote. So as if Anthem didn't have so much crap on their plate now, this comes out.
Yep.
This isn't fans bashing the game because it sucks or anything like that. No. this is just like, this is fate saying, you need to stop. We are going to make sure you don't exist. Ugh. It's times like these I'm happy I didn't buy 4. It really is. Just man, and I feel terrible. PS3 was better.
In fact, the PS2 was better.
Yep. But like I said, I feel terrible for the fans who enjoy Anthem and who have sunk so much money into, you know, their consoles and games and things of that nature, to be completely destroyed by this kind of mess up is just, it's sad, you know?
Yeah.
And this isn't like, this is like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like, this is no one's fault, you know? It's technically, it was a bug, a freak bug that's just kind of spawned out. And
I think that
like I said,
answers
people
your question, LT.
What is?
What I'm wondering, who was the bastard that fucked up this game? Sorry,
I blame Sean Schemmel for that. Yeah, the voice actor of Goku. I blame him for. I know he had nothing to do with this, but I still blame him.
And the birds.
And the birds.
There's always a reason to blame the birds.
But no, like I said, it's just it's like this perfect storm that will destroy this game completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like nothing you can come back from, and you know, the warning signs were there. We them, but we didn't. So yeah, unfortunately, there is no like happy end to this. This is still ongoing. No one has found a fix to it yet. And when it is fixed, when it is updated, we will let you guys know. So I guess for now, don't buy Anthem for the PS4 if you really want to get it. Just get it on PC, I guess. That's just it. That's all I can really say.
Yeah.
Right, moving on. This one's a bit more of a, I guess, a free talk kind of thing between us. And that is talking about Silent Hill and how basically one man has decided to, destroy the franchise because he hates what came before. So, have you ever heard of a guy called Tom Hewlett?
I think I've heard somebody mention him, but never in detail.
Okay, so basically, Tom Hewlett is, he is a game producer, and he went with Capcom and became the head. I want to say, what would be a good way to say it? He became in charge of Silent Hill proper, basically. Like, you know how people under George Lucas could like make things, but nothing gets done unless George gives it the okay. Yeah, that was basically his role. And basically, he was a Silent Hill fan. He had played 2 religiously, but he decided to basically destroy the series because he doesn't like what came before. So when I say Silent Hill, what comes to mind?
Running through the streets, seeing like a weird skinless, hairless dog. In the distance, a gargoyle flies over your head.
Okay.
A strange gurney in a back alleyway.
For some reason.
And of course, that one photo that circled all over Tumblr just because of how hilarious it was. The guy investigating the dog house and there's like blood everywhere. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to know what dog was there." And like, it's freeze frame perfectly where you see one of those mutated dogs is lunging at him with its mouth wide open.
I love it. Well, basically, exactly. So basically, Silent Hill, its story is about a cult who intended to bring, a god forth, have a child, effectively, birth a god, so it can make the world better. Religious insanity kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Tom doesn't like that. Tom flat out, when he was given in charge of Silent Hill, after Team Silent, the original creators, broke up and left, basically, they had created 4 games. That was Silent Hill 1, revolving around Harry Mason, Silent Hill 2, revolving around James Sunderland and his mental problems, Silent Hill 3 going back with the cult, and Silent Hill 4 continuing the cult story. Alright, so out of the 4 games, 3 of them are connected and 1 of them just stands on its own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom basically believes that all those games that are connected are shit. And believes that every game needs to be like Silent Hill 2. Devoid of the cult and devoid of interesting shit. And this is where a lot of people have an issue with it. Apparently, Tom went out of his way to try and retroactively erase the previous cult games and try to say Silent Hill's about this, and
yeah.
And you know the type of guy, right? Like you bring them on, want their skills, and then slowly over time they just try to completely and utterly destroy everything you've ever tried to make.
Yep, Silent Hill 2 is best Silent Hill. Thank you, Snow.
And Silent Hill 2, that's fine. Like you won't hear me sitting here and say, "Oh, you're wrong because blah blah."
It'd be concerning if we could hear you sitting there. Just out of nowhere. No. It's like
you know what I mean.
It's like, I hate bringing this up because this pisses me off more than ever. It's when somebody steals an artist's work and they try to abolish any existence of that artist by saying that they drew this or that they made this or something like that, and that nobody else has ever made this before, and don't listen to that person that says that they did. And they somehow succeed. Like, not all of them succeed, mind you, but they manage to erase and smear any knowledge of the original artist. And then more people do this, and more, and it's all about the same image.
Yeah. And would you fuck off?
You need
Hold
to,
on.
You need to turn...
I turned this off. I turned off my fucking alarm, and for some reason, the fucking telemarketers always get here. I don't know how. I don't know why.
At that point, just sit on it.
Just sit.
That's what he said. Oh, just...
Oh, yeah, him. Yeah, and that's a big example I can think of. So what happened is that people really wanted HD remakes, or re-releases, sorry, not remakes, of Silent Hill 2, 3, and 1, right?
Yeah.
And they did create an HD remake. And somehow they completely and utterly botched the whole thing like you wouldn't believe. Like, it's... I don't know how you achieve this, but it's like... It's... Oh my god, it's... in fact, let me see if I can find it. Like, this guy's synonymous with butchering the HD remaster, on top of the whole voice actor thing, but we'll get to that in a second.
From LT. Need no better example than Masters, the head of SPV3. I don't know what that is.
The Halo mod that was remaking
Halo
CE.
Oh.
Yeah. He's the guy we covered a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So, on the... oh, wait, no, that's No, wrong one, wrong one. Hold on.
By the way, do you want to take a break after this one? Because I gotta let the dogs back out.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So here is a perfect example. So the images on the left are of the HD remaster. The images on the right are the original game. Take a look at how much they fucked this up.
So wait. Left is remake?
HD remaster.
What the hell?
Exactly.
I can
Congratulations.
see the edge of the map.
They got rid of, basically the point of the fog is that it's supposed to hide a lot of the short, but it's also atmospheric. In this version, they cleaned up the fog and have revealed the errors. Oh, it's so funny. It's like if the PS2 has a better makes something look better than the HD remaster, I think you've done something wrong here. Like horrendously wrong. And not only that, so we're going to get into the big issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is, what happened is that when the HD remaster was happening, Tom was given the original, not original source code, but basically he was given the of the game. His excuse as to why everything looks bad is because the source of the game they got was very crap, you know? Very, very shitty. I don't believe it for a second. I really believe that he, what's the word? I just really believe he and his team did a shit job to begin with.
Yep.
Like, they didn't know how to handle it. So, not only does he do this, but the motherfucker thinks it's a good idea, and I'm not making this up, he writes his own version of the script for all three games and wanted to redo everything. We're talking changing characters, motivations, storylines, things of that nature. And on a rare instance, Konami said, no, you're not going to do that. And so that the rewrites were never issued. The rescripting never happened. He was forced to honor the source material instead of doing what every shitty human being on the planet who wants to do things their own, steal from other people's work and remaking everything as they think it's right, basically. And what wound up happening is that Tom gets the go-ahead to recast all the voices, specifically because there was a dispute with the voice actors and how they weren't getting paid certain money, so they were just basically replaced. One of the guys, Guy Seehee, yes, he goes by Guy Seehee, I don't know why, basically explains how they, everyone who was invited to do the voice acting fix the Silent Hill pachinko. Okay, fine. But it gets worse. So basically, Guy Seehee explains that when they were doing the original version of Silent Hill 2, where he was in, Team Silent had them all stand together and actually act, and they did a total of 8 takes together. And that's why the voice acting, all the characters in Silent Hill 2 are so believable, so human, because they actually all stood together, acted together, and then brought those performances to the mic stand. That's a rare form of acting you don't see anymore. And to make matters, so as you can imagine, Tom Hewlett basically said, fuck that, let's just hire a bunch of big-name voice actors and have them just act as they normally do, bring in their acting chops. So Guy Seehee was replaced with Troy Baker, which, Troy Baker is... Actually, let me look at it, his voice acting thing, just to be sure I'm remembering the right guy. No, not Baker. Baker. Yeah, voice actor. So let's see what he's done. Better yet, let's find out what he has. Fucker is in everything as of late. Basically, Troy Baker is the guy you bring in when you want generic white guy or over-the-top anime voice, basically. Yeah, let that sink in, basically. Yeah. So let's get this guy who's famous for overacting and basically being kind of melodramatic on occasion to voice a mentally unstable person. Does anybody else see a problem with this? Just me? It doesn't fit. And of course, it's very obvious that Tom wanted to do the rewrites and then have these big name actors in so he can do silent. He wanted to do it. And of course, it never happened. A lot of the voices don't match the characters. Everyone just feels fake. Where in the original, they felt real as it is. And oh, wait, look at this. Before we continue, you just got to see this. Again, it is the remastering. Left is original, right is remastered.
What the fuck?
No, James, don't go into the fire.
What? What is this? What is going on with the water?
I don't. It's remastered. It looks more real. It's like, motherfucker, it looks like it's jelly.
It looks. It looks like one of those really crappy PS2 games.
Oh.
Like the ones you want to forget.
When you fuck up a remaster, better. Oh man. Here is Captain James sailing on the Sea of Jelly. Oh man, I love it. So of course people really don't like, you know, the remastering because it takes a lot of established shit and makes it completely crap. And not only that, apparently audio mixing was also atrocious. Specifically, like, you know how a chainsaw sounds, right?
Yeah.
You know, the yeah, somehow they fucked that up, so it sounds like the chainsaw is screaming at you. And like the sound is stretched and slowed down for some reason. And when the female protagonist walks on metal grating, it sounds like she's bound. It's loud and obnoxious. I don't know how you fuck up a... but they did. So, as you can imagine, he basically wants to make Silent Hill a psychological horror game. They butchered it, LT. That's what they've done. They've butchered these games, and Tom just... he says he's such a Silent Hill fan, and yet he goes back to redo things that his quote-unquote fans, is the quote-unquote original creators, the ones he adores, did. That's not a fan. That is a parasite.
Yep.
So
that is like when you go to anime convention and there's that 300-pound nerd who thinks they're right in everything and the creators are wrong.
Exactly. That's basically what Tom Hewlett is. And
I don't
so
know what he looks like.
He doesn't look like that.
Thank
ironically.
God.
No. So let me just show you. Just so you get an understanding of what kind of monster we're dealing with here.
Okay, no, he sounds like one of the more worse fans.
To quote Twin Perfect, the people who did an entire retroactive analysis of the series and put Tom Hewlett's credentials into question. To quote one of them, "A complete douche."
What?
There, a complete douche, but said in a silly way. But But basically, so Tom Hewlett went on to create the following games, and this is Silent Hill Homecoming, Downpour, Shattered Memories, and Book of Memories. And Origins, but technically speaking, that's more like an original Silent Hill game, and he had very little to do with it. We're not counting that. So, So, basically, these games goes as follows. Shattered Memories is basically attempting to write Silent Hill 1 out of existence by having it instead Harry Mason died in a car crash, and his daughter Sherry can't accept the fact that he's dead, so she's in denial, and then she's going to therapy. That's how she helps overcome the fact her father. Does that not sound like the most boring shit in the Yeah. So then Homecoming comes back to the whole occult nature, right? Except when it's not even about the I believe, Spider-Man was a cameo in Homecoming. I think, don't quote me. So then Homecoming's all about a cult that makes a secret deal with some sort of demonic god thing. But except there's very little to do with the cult, and all the monsters are just mental representations of what the character, Shepard, I think, or I don't even remember the guy's name, just generic army man has to go through because he killed his brother, and he's denying the fact that he killed him because he has self-induced amnesia and blah, blah, blah. Again, you're starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
Then, finally, Downpour involves a criminal who steals a car so he can get into prison to kill the man who raped and murdered his son, and then is in denial about the fact that he murders people and then he goes into Silent Hill and it makes him face his demons. And, oh my god, you see how God. Like, this is the most repetitive bullshit I think I've ever seen about a guy. The fact that even though Silent Hill 2 is a masterpiece and everyone likes it, it's not Silent Hill. It's not what it is at its core. It was basically a spin-off game before spin-off games were a thing, and the fact that nobody cares about psychological horror that, is boring goes to tell you just how much of an idiot this guy can be.
Yep.
And then not only that, Book of Memories, over the head thing, attempts to do the rewriting again by claiming there's a book that can control things and just blah, 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 blah.
Where does the Shiba Inu come in?
The Shiba Inu is the joke ending of Silent Hill, which the idea is that everything that happens in the town is all one dog with like a computer model. For some reason. And then, as with all Silent Hills, there is the alien end, in which all this was done by aliens. Literally, they just appear out because we're aliens.
And now we know
where
Stephen King's The Mist came from.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll admit this. I do love... In Silent Hill 3, one of the joke endings has this very catchy tune. But as we know, whenever someone Japanese tries to say like an American name or something like that, in a certain way, it comes out sounding completely different.
Yeah, it sounds a little...
So in this... Yeah, but in the song, when the guy's trying to say Douglas, which is one of the characters, he says, Douglas, Douglas. I love how he says it, too. Like, I'm not making fun of him, I love how it sounds. But yeah. So, basically, Tom Hewlett's entire resume of Silent Hill games is, I tried to capture the glory of Silent Hill 2, while attempting to destroy everything that came out before. Because I can't deal with the fact that the fans don't give a shit about this and actually want a decent Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, after a string of 4 failures, he left the company. And to this day, he blames the fans for harassing him out. It's like, no one did.
You did this to yourself.
People, Exactly. People, like, I'll flat out admit, maybe some people were vitriolic and nasty about it, but I'm pretty sure a large majority of them were like, no, this isn't my Silent Hill, you're doing shit things, yada, yada, yada. No, actually, there's even a quote by Tom Hewlett in defense of recasting everyone for the HD remaster. And it says the following, and I quote, "The original voice acting for Silent Hill 2 is shit. So enjoy wondering what the big fucking deal about that game is when you play it in 2011. Yeah. It's... No, and here's even something worse. When people were justly calling him out for having crappy voice actors when the trailer dropped, specifically to showcase the new voice acting, like, how do I put it? You know how, like, people will extract a voice out of something?
Yep.
And there's still video playing, but there's no sound elsewhere. It's very weird.
Yep.
That's basically what it was. And Tom, when people said it sounded like crap, Tom says the following: "Sometimes I overestimate the people's ability to look at pre-alpha stuff, the voices, hadn't been mixed into the game yet. They hadn't been balanced perfectly. There's a lot that goes into putting a voice into a video game. It's not just putting in a .wav file." And it still sounded like crap, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I just... Tom is the man who cannot handle criticism. He cannot handle the fact when he makes a mistake, and the best way to put it is this: he is in charge of everything. He is the captain of the boat. The captain goes down with the ship when the ship sinks. Tom is the captain who jumps into the lifeboat with everyone else and lets the engine crew die. That is the best way to describe him. And yeah. Honestly, I'm pleased that Tom is no longer part of Silent Hill. I'm glad he's left the company and has just, now he's founded Way Forward, is part of Way Forward, who does the Shantae games, and those are fine. Ironic, isn't it? The quote-unquote fan of a series is better at doing something that isn't involved with that series and does a better job about it.
Yep.
That is fate saying you were not destined for this and you just should have accepted to begin with. So yeah. Anyway, that basically covers Tom Hewlett's involvement. So yeah, this guy's crap. Alright, so we'll go into a break for a few minutes, and when we come back we will be covering the last two topics, and then... or three topics, sorry, and do into the monthly things. So yeah, so we'll see you in a few minutes.
Yep. Okay guys, it's just you and me now, after that amazing first half. I have two little dogs that I need to let outside for a little bit before their owner comes home and takes them home to another town. So, I am going to play the intro music on repeat. If you don't like it, that's fine. Just mute and tab away. We'll be back as soon as possible.
Welcome back, everyone. This is ep42. This is episode 2 of our series, Gifs. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2011. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2012. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2013. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2014. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2015. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2016. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2017. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2018. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2019. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2020. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2021. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2022. This is the episode where we talk about the games that we played in 2023. This is
Okay, that's enough of that for now. Nope. Let me go back to here. We're good. Oh, better let Rev know that I'm back. I have, the puppy is, like, now doing his thing where he'll drop his tennis ball down the stairs, run down the stairs, grab it, go back up the stairs, and drop it again. And I have a bowl of, breakfast mix, mostly. It sucks. I can't see who's actually watching.
Alright.
Hi.
We're here.
Yay.
Again. Alright, let's see. Where were we?
So, the puppy has this little game that he plays.
Mm-hmm.
He has, like, these really tiny tennis balls, and he'll, grab one, he'll run up the stairs, and he'll drop it down the stairs. And then he'll run down the stairs, grab it, and go back up and do it again.
Oh, that's very cute.
Yeah, except that he chose the stairs that are... They're not very well insulated, so I can hear that. We only have 2 sets of stairs. One he refuses to go down, the other one he just plays on constantly.
Yeah. I'm so annoying! That's what he's probably thinking.
Mm-hmm. Also, I find it very funny that, LT mentioned Troy Baker. Troy Baker is a voice actor. And he plays 2 characters in Mortal Kombat 11.
Yes.
And I found one of them very funny. He plays as Shiva.
That's awkward.
Mm-hmm. Then again, it took a woman's voice to do a lot of our childhood characters.
True.
I learned something last night that kind of breaks my heart to know.
Go on.
One of the voice actresses for, like, you remember Chucky Finster from Rugrats?
Yeah.
Yeah, his voice actor died.
Oh, that's so sad.
What was funny is that, what brought on that conversation is that, I was in a call with Liam and Snow, and I mentioned the McDonald's movies that they used to have.
Okay.
And, the voice actress for Chucky Finster was the voice for the Early Bird character in those movies. And
I still find it so... Go ahead.
Hmm?
I just find it funny that they made those to begin with.
Oh, yeah. But they were really good.
Eh.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah. I'm not going to say it's subjective. It's more like,
I liked all but one of them. Well, sorry, I've only seen all but one of them, and that was the one that's insanely rare.
Insanely rare.
It kind of makes sense. It's about the Loch Ness Monster.
Fair enough.
I have food with me.
All right. Yeah, I can tell. All right. Let's get into this next part then. So, as of a little while ago, the story trailer 11 dropped, and now we know what's going on. Why so many characters seem to look different and act completely different from 10. Or yeah, it was 10. And that is, it goes as following. So apparently, a being called Chromia, which I'm willing to believe has no relation to a certain, gnome from World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone knows what I'm referencing, good job, you get a cookie. I totally lie. You're not getting anything. No, I'm gonna stop.
I was about to say I might still have some money on my Subway gift card.
Anyone who gets it gets a free Subway sandwich of our choosing.
Cookie.
But basically, so a being called Chromia has decided that Raiden has interfered with the time stream enough. So now she's going to rip open portals in time and summon allies to fight for her, specifically to kill Raiden and put the time and to build a perfect time, which I think means that the events of Mortal Kombat 9 don't happen and the timeline goes back to normal. I don't think that's the case, but wishful thinking, I suppose. So that's her goal. And so she's summoning people from different points in time, characters from different points in time, who she can use to her advantage. This includes Scorpion before he redeems himself, Shao Kahn, and anyone and everyone who she could feasibly abuse for her own power. On top of that, as well, Raiden is clearly he's evil now. It's clear that he's evil and that he wants to kill Chromia specifically because she threatens his realm. Because, as we all know, he's that kind of guy. On top of that, as well, some of the undead characters are also returning, including Cabal, Jade, all of them who were turned into zombies. I'm going to be completely blunt about this. I am not liking what's happening so far. Mm-hmm. The time travel aspect, I like. The character designs, I absolutely detest. And some of the voice acting changes, but I can forgive that for it's timeline, so maybe, people sound different when they age. It's a cop-out answer, but I can deal with it. Yeah. What I don't like is that how everybody looks too clean. And by that I mean everyone looks like they just came out of a DC comic. Sub-Zero looks like he just stepped out of the set of a live-action Mortal Kombat again. Where in the previous game he looked practical. His costume looked plausible to use. In the sense of, I'm now the master of my clan, but I've also got some armor going on. So there we go. No, now he's just he's wearing a shirt with no sleeves and a tiny, tiny bit of armor on his forearm. And Baraka, for God's sakes, he looks this is something that's kind of bothered me. Why can we not get a consistent design for this fuck?
Yeah.
Every game he appears in, he goes through an extreme makeover for his face or his arms or just anything. I'm sitting here and my only thought is, are you the son of Baraka or are you just like Baraka after 25 plastic surgeries? It's the latter, isn't it? Yeah, I figured as much. No. I figured as much. So yeah, I think I know why everyone looks different at every setting. And that is because in this Mortal Kombat, hold on. You know the Injustice 2 game, yes?
Yep.
Okay, you know how in that one everyone can wear armor pieces to give them advantages or make them look different?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly the same system they're implementing for this Mortal Kombat.
Wow.
And this is the only way I think they're putting in the system and justifying it in the story. It's everyone looks different because they're from different times and universes, and it's cop-out answer is still cop-out. Actually, here's a perfect example of this. So these are two characters from Mortal Kombat 10, right? Sub-Zero and Sector. Or, sorry, Tribal. And this is just for you specifically. So, look at Sub-Zero. Look how he looks. The clothing looks like it's made out of fabric, and the armor looks actual metal, right?
Yeah.
So it looks fine. Now, here's Sub-Zero in this latest Mortal Kombat, if I can find something. Hold on. I didn't think this through. Yeah, here we go. We'll go with this. Does this not look like cosplay?
It does.
It looks too clean, doesn't it? It looks like it's freshly made and hasn't had a moment tempered in battle.
I also like how he changed from like a white dude to an Asian dude.
To getting a white dude voice actor. Voice acting, yeah, Ronda Rousey voice acting Sonya now. For some reason, even though we had the same actress for both games, and I don't get it. And like I said, I don't like these costumes. They look too much like they're emulating the DC Injustice games. And the voice acting changes are just bizarre. Like, you remember Blisk from Titanfall?
Yeah.
He's now voicing Kano.
Mm.
So when I was hearing him talking, my only thought is, so when you're going to tell me my Titan's ready? Hmm?
Oh no,
also,
did the mailman show up?
I think he did.
I'm just
also, I need to mention... I also need to say this. Somehow, he's become younger in this game, even though he has every bit of his memories from the current timeline. How did this happen? And why does he look so out of place?
But he's so perfectly smooth.
Exactly! What is going on here? You look like... Oh god, it looks like he just stepped out of the ring. He's like, hey, it's me, Kano. Woo.
But I don't like how the skin is so nice. I don't like it.
I don't like change. Oh god, even Aaron has gotten a complete redesign for this game, and it looks so weird. Like, you remember how he looked, right? Like a general, like, he had leather, it was very obvious he was very old. He's lived a long time, so it would make sense that he wouldn't change his clothing too much.
Oh god.
Yeah, look what they've done to him now. Who is this biker and why is he here?
It's high noon.
It's like, McCree, get out of here. This isn't your fucking game.
Maybe he's from a different timeline.
Fuck off with this bullshit! This is what pisses me off, this timeline bullshit!
This is why I don't like time gimmicks.
I was fine with the time travel shit in 9. I was okay with that. This was a change, and I was like, okay, fair enough. The Mortal Kombat timeline to begin with is absolute garbo to begin with. So I'm fine with this. Why is this change now happening? What is this bullshit? Why is Aaron Black some wannabe gangster biker? What happened to the armored leather and the sort of like Western look he had? What is going on here?
He just needs a Banff belt now.
He needs to... It's like, I loved how Aaron Black looked before, you know? He looked badass. He looked like a bounty hunter should. This just looks like I got out of the Backstreet Boys. I need work. Thank you. It is some bullshit. Oh yeah, and by the way, that's Scarlet next to him. The Sanguimancer. Yeah, her redesign I don't mind actually. I actually kind of like her new look. Not that one, the other one. This one. I like it. It seems to fit.
Oh wow, that's a nice look.
Yeah. This is the only look in the entire so far. Yeah, fine. I like it. Hell, I even like her personality. When she sees someone, you can, like, the way she talks, you can hear her salivating. Like she's just seen a big meal. And she's like, I'm gonna eat this. God, and Johnny Cage. Like, they brought back his douchebag attitude from 9, even though he's supposed to have grown up by now. And I know it's the same character, too, because he still has the gray hair. It's just... Who at Midway is making these design choices so I can punch them in the throat? Specifically in the throat. Who is doing this? Stop it. Get help. I had to. Oh god, this is the epitome of this game. Like this is basically the only justification of why everyone looks so retarded. Look at this. Just should it, like, if these two are together, shouldn't time be like exploding right now? You know?
They're trying to figure out what a gun is.
So I just I need to hurt something. Need
violence. Trying to figure out what a gun is. This is the first time they've ever seen a fucking gun.
And the old Cage is supposed to have been able to use guns. What is this? The only returning character I think looks fine is Kodo Khan. And that's because they didn't fuck up his design. Just keep it as is. But everyone else, no, fuck it. Everybody else needs to look different. For the sake of, we can't be bothered to justify the armor system any other way than time travel bullshit. Just... Exactly, you changed the future! You created a paradox! Where's the explosion? Ugh, it's just... And to make matters worse, apparently they got the okay to bring Spawn into this game.
Oh.
You know they're gonna fuck up his design too.
No, I loved Spawn. I liked him in Soul Calibur. It's just like the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah, it's apparently, what's his name? Spawn's creator, Todd McFarlane, is okay with having Spawn in the game. And so now apparently they're going to bring him in. At least that's what they're saying so far. And I'm fine with that. It's just, I hope his design doesn't look as retarded as everybody else. No one in this roster outside of Jade, Scarlet, and Kodo Khan look right. Everybody else looks like they come off the set of a DC crossover event, which, to be honest, I don't think is too far beyond, forward.
They all look like they're made of Play-Doh or wax.
From now. And that's funny. The other game, everyone had a good skin texture. They looked like they were people. This just looks like everyone's too well cleaned and shaven.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is supposed to be a game, a game about killing each other in the most brutal tournament imaginable. There is literally no time to look nice, because your head's probably going to hit the floor by now. It's... I just want to just... Yeah, Spawn of all people is getting into Mortal Kombat. But let's be fair, Spawn's done some really brutal shit in the past, so... Let's be fair. It's not like he can't be in Mortal Kombat. Honestly, you know what? Now that Mortal Kombat is like getting another game, and that what's his name, and Warframe has Garuda, I'm actually surprised they haven't approached them and said, "Hey, we want to put your Warframe into our game. Can we do that?"
That would be really cool.
Garuda and Warframe. That would be amazing.
Garuda and what?
Garuda in Mortal Kombat would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like her whole thing's blood. Her finisher is turning someone into putty.
Like, her finisher is to try and tear them in half with her claws.
There you go. That would look amazing. Yeah, that's right. It was supposed to come to Switch too. I don't know who to blame. I don't think this is Ed Boon's and Tobias's thing going on. I don't think they're responsible for these changes. I think it's Warner Brothers who is doing this. Because let's face it, the previous game that came out before, everyone looked great, and people enjoyed that game. And it was a game these two were clearly involved with. This seems like WB is getting involved. They're like, no, we want this, this, and this, and then we want you to put Batman in. And he's the only character in the entire game who is the most badass and capable, and because he's Batman, and that's what I expect to have. Oh, sorry, there was another character I wanted to say looks good. Cabal looks amazing. Like, he really, like, the clothing, the mask, everything, it looks spot on. Like, he looks like he belongs in Mortal Kombat again. Which is sad, considering this is Mortal Kombat. I mean, I still miss the 9 version of Cabal. I like that. The suit and everything. It looked good. But this is fine, too. I'm okay with this.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, he looks badass, doesn't he?
He doesn't even look like he's from Mortal Kombat.
Well, he's undead.
I know, but like, character design-wise, he doesn't look like he's meant to be in Mortal Kombat.
Really?
Where did that picture go? There he is.
Where'd that picture go? I disagree. I think he looks... Well, for this game, I suppose, he looks fine. If it was up to me, I would have redesigned him to look a little bit like he did in 11. I'm sorry, in 9, to be completely honest. It's just... I want to hurt someone who just thought everything in this was perfect and just say, you are a fucking idiot. Just completely to the nth degree. Should I get to get... Wait a minute.
I don't understand that meme, even though I understand
the
why.
Shaggy meme.
Yeah.
Shaggy for Killer Ultra Instinct. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, and yeah, he does kind of look like Predator, but let's be honest, Mortal Kombat has had a history of making their characters look like Predator.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I said, it's just... 11's going to be a miss for me. It's going to be... I'm going to rent it on the weekend, I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm just going to drop it. I'm not going to devote any time into this like I did with 10 or 9. Honestly, it's just... I'm not looking forward to this. And I'm waiting for people to just lose their minds and boycott. But, like, lose their minds and rip into Midway for creating this abomination. I.e. all the characters looking like they came out of a DC movie. And not even a good DC movie. I mean, like, the live-action crap. Ooh. And yeah, that covers Mortal Kombat 11. incredible rage fest that it is.
Yep.
Let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, and then 2, and then the weekly thing. Or monthly thing. Weekly. Yes, exactly. Right, so now comes into the segment of Rev's reviews. This time, Crackdown 3.
Shall I play the music?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I love that little ditty.
Yeah.
So this week we are looking into Crackdown 3. We covered this a little bit in last week's episode, but specifically we were just fanning over Terry Crews in the game.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot what that was.
It's like, how can you forget Terry Crews?
It's been a long week.
Tom Cruise.
I'm sorry. It's been a long week.
When you said that, my immediate thought, I immediately remember Nogla talking about, Tom Cruise in just anything. Tom Cruise in Die Hard. I'll cue the inspirational quote here. If you're scared, then you'll be fearful. But no, basically, so let's get into it. Crackdown 3 is the third installment of the Crackdown series. This is a series that debuted back when the Xbox original, I want to say, was the big thing in the household. Basically, Crackdown was kind of like, what is a good game to... Hello, Logan. Sorry, that was my dog. He's come into my room. What do you need? Okay, he's just staring at me now. Awesome. But yeah,
first shooter set in a sandbox environment.
Exactly, that's it. However, you were genetically augmented to do insane shit, like lift up cars, jump tall buildings in a single bounce, regenerate, things of that nature. It was entirely possible for you to take a tire and then throw it at the boss you're trying to kill, and just keep throwing it at him.
It's actually funny you say that, because one of the images in the wiki to promote, that your character's really special, is a guy lifting a car.
Exactly. There you go. But yeah, as you can imagine, that was kind of the appeal, and people enjoyed it because of the freedom you were permitted, and what made Crackdown a very interesting game. At least Crackdown 1 is, you could approach any sort of crime syndicate any way you wanted. You had the abilities, you had the powers, you could go in guns blazing or just throw a bunch of shit until everyone died. It was entirely possible. The main story, from what I understand, is that you are part of the agency, which is like a global police force. And your objective in the first game is to hunt down these gangs and take them out. Mm-hmm. Oversimplification, because I've never been able to find the story of Crackdown 1 anywhere else. And it's just kind of, it's something I've just kind of come to accept. It's I'm never going to understand this. Crackdown 2, on the other hand, has a bit more of a story going on, which basically goes like this, which is there's an epidemic going around, and it's slowly the city you're in. It's slowly transforming the inhabitants into mutated monsters and beasts and just shit in general, right? And your objective is to kind of halt the infection, find a cure, bring it to justice, And it's implied that it's the agency's fault. That's what's been implied with Crackdown 2, and it ends in a cliffhanger with an implication that your agent, is going to look into the agency itself and bring it to justice. That's kind of the idea. Also, I'd like to point out that when at the end of Crackdown 2, you stop the villain by throwing yourself into the blades of a helicopter and using your guts to jam it up.
Ugh.
Yeah, you can't die in the Crackdown games. Your agent regenerates from it.
That's gotta be painful, though.
Painful, but also it's like, yeah, I took down this helicopter by jumping into it. What up, bitches? Yeah. So that's the quick overview. So Crackdown 3 is more of the same. It's more of Crackdown 1 and 2, except this time there's Terry Crews in it. Yeah.
Yay.
So this one also has a bit of a story going on. So to summarize in the fastest way possible, your agency is investigating blackouts occurring across the cities. Like, we're talking about blackouts that completely destroy a city's power grid to the point where they can't come back. People are in the dark, there's no power, there's no lights, there's no heat. And people are scared. But then suddenly this company called Terra Nova pops up and they create a whole city with power on an island. However, it's implied that Terra Nova is so successful because it's behind the attacks. And now you and your team are supposed to go in and bring the CEO to justice and stop the blackouts. However, the moment you try to do that, your entire team gets completely annihilated by a blast of radiation. And you die with them. Yes, unfortunately, Terry Crews also meets his demise.
Oh, he's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. Yeah. It's a horrible thing to see. And the game allows basically a woman called, I believe it's Nora as well. I think. Don't quote me. She just calls herself Mist in this game. She manages to save you and puts the remains of your body in a tank to regenerate you. And she's like, "You want to get vengeance on the fuckers who did this to you?" And what I love is that your guy gives her a thumbs up. It's like, yeah, let's do it. And basically from there, the game is divided into this. There are areas of the city that the whole city's open to you. Let's get that out of the way. There's no, like, you know how, like, in Jak 2, there were areas that were cut off by force fields?
Hmm?
You know how in Jak 2, there were areas that were cut off by force fields, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the case here. In Crackdown 3, the whole city's open to you, but your objective is to go into specific areas, attack specific objectives like the power plants or police headquarters, things of that nature, to draw out the leader of the section, and from there you kill them, and yeah. It's basically you're going after the CEO by killing her underling, but also killing their underling's underling. That's how it's. I like it. You're systematically demolishing this entire industry by just targeting the people you need to kill. Honestly, I liked it. It's quite impressive. But the problem is, it really is. It plays and handles just like a game from 2008, like when the original Crackdowns came. Big open space, not a lot of things to do, and very, very repetitive missions. I mean, it's fun, but I can see people getting very bored very quickly.
That came out in 2007.
Okay, 2007. It feels like a game from that time period.
Yeah.
And I can see people getting bored with this very easily. Gameplay sensibilities have changed since, I want to say, things have changed since those times where open worlds and going to mission, taking out enemies is no longer it's no longer the thing to do for fun. It's now kind of like busy work. And that's the unfortunate truth. I do like how the setting is a bit different. Instead of upholding the law, you're breaking the law for a just reason. So that's fine, I guess. Uh, yeah, all the characters are also kind of interestingly written. All the villains you fight have motivation. They're incredibly one-dimensional. Like, I won't mince words here. They're all one-dimensional bosses who basically will call you on the radio and say, "Oh, I'm so evil because I kick kittens into traffic," and that kind of thing. So, not a lot to go in. I mean, you do learn about the tree, but it's not necessary. It's more like supplementary things you find as you play the game. So I'm okay with that as well. The city's color choices, however, I don't like. Everything is neon, but not the bright kind of neon you would expect. It's like when you're at night and you're standing under like a purple neon, for example. It's what's the word? It's extremely dark. You can't see shit, basically. Okay, here we go. So this is the I guess you could call boss assassination screen. This is your end objective, effectively.
Let me get that on stream.
Yeah, sure.
I'm hearing the dog run around like crazy, like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Their mom is home. Yay, she's gonna let them out to go potty.
Oh, that's nice.
They're so fucking excited!
I can hear it too. But yeah, so this is how it works. So there are 3 major bosses, and then you've got 5 mini bosses to go after. And basically, in order to reach the boss of that corresponding color, you have to take out their supporters, and then from there you can go and take them out. Now, it actually has a gameplay advantage. If you take out one of these little bosses, the path to reach the next boss, I guess their main boss, becomes easier for you to traverse. There is, honestly, as far as I know, nothing stopping you from going directly after these guys, except the level is going to be packed full of extremely hard obstacles that you probably won't be able to get through. So it's more like, yeah, you could do that, or you could, take these guys out and make the path up a bit easier. Just saying. Yeah, and okay, here we go. This is a perfect example of the lighting issues the game has. Again, this is all supposed to be bright neon, and look how dark the character is.
It's like the lighting in Ark.
Exactly. It's incredibly easy to enemy in this neon, and it's sad because I get what they're going with. I don't mind the neon-like coloring. It's just it needs to actually be brighter, not just, oh, we're just gonna add a bunch of call it a day. No, it needs to be actual light. Like I said, the map is quite huge. Going from location to location is recommended. You will be attacked very often, so expect a constant firefight, depending on where you go. And yeah, outside of that, there's very little else to do. Story-wise, the CEO woman basically is doing the blackout so they can gather all the humans in one place. So then she can create something called Chimera that will siphon the life out of people so she can live forever. My immediate thought was, that bitch. But yeah, the game is a ball of fried cheese when it comes to plot.
No, honestly, in a gaming world where everything is like way too deep and way too emotional, cheese is fine.
Oh yeah, it's totally fine, but it's silly kind of like most of the cheesy, silly one-liners comes from your boss, who will say things like, "Oh, I love the smell of burning chemicals in the morning," or, things of that nature.
That's
Like,
deadly.
that's the thing. His voice, you know, like the announcer from Smash Bros, except more like '60s era.
So he's the Markiplier announcer?
Kind of, kind of. The best way
I
to
still
describe
have
him.
that song on MP3 where he's the announcer for Super Smash Bros.
Um, but yeah, it's not a big world-ending plot. I mean, the other games were silly, but but they were kind of serious. This one's more like,
Yeah.
it's like Far Cry Blood Dragon, effectively. That's exactly what it feels
Would it be like I don't remember if
like.
it's like Battlefield Bad Company, I think that's the one where you're a group of half-wits in Battlefield. Like, every 5 seconds they have to make a pun, but they're still very serious.
It's kind of like that, except the serious tone is overshadowed by the stupid.
Okay.
And like I said, this is a game where I think if you're like more interested in playing the Terry Crews simulator, this is for you. Like you just want to,
Oh, hell yeah.
you just want to, exactly. You just want to sit down, play some hardcore music, chug a whole beer, and just scream and have fun. This is the game for you. Like pure in and pure out. But like I said, I think this game should have come out several years ago.
Hi, Durnavira, welcome to the stream. Bad Company 2, yeah.
Yep. It wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it. It's just, guys, tone it down a bit. But yeah. Like I said, this game really did feel like it should have come out in 2007. At the height or at the time when silly shit like this was extremely popular. Or when, like, just open world at their height, really. Nowadays, open worlds are just empty and boring. Like, to quote someone, open worlds are basically as wide as an ocean and as deep as a puddle. And this one kind of has that going on, but not too much, I think. But yeah. So yeah, that is Crackdown 3. I would say get it if you're, like I said, if you want the Terry Crews simulation experience. But other than that, you can afford to skip this game. Like you're not missing too much, I think. So yeah. And that covers that.
I guess the last thing before the monthlies is the thing I added.
Yeah.
So, it's not all that often that we talk about Ark Survival Evolved. Last time we talked about it, it was when Extinction came out, which I still love, by the way. Mostly for the owls.
Oh.
They don't sound like that, though. They sound really weird.
Okay.
But, their latest update, I had to bring it up. Just because it's such a big change to the game. For the longest time, when you build something in Ark, it's going to be a square. And without mods, all in all, it's still just going to be a bunch of squares. There's not going to be very much detail unless you put a pillar in there or something, just to give it accents. So people have relied on a mod called S+, aka Structures Plus. This allows you to have angles and corners and bends all around. It allows you to pick up the things you've set down instead of having to demolish them and then rebuild. Because that was so annoying.
Alright.
But, this latest update actually takes what S Plus is and puts it into the game. From what I remember hearing, the developers worked with the guy that made S Plus to put it in. That or they talked with him, I don't really remember. But if Rev had watched the video, he might have seen some of the things that people built. Like the fucking battleship, which was insane. What was great about S Plus is that the biggest part is you don't have to demolish the building. Wow, Durnavir put up a whole... Holy shit.
What?
He put up an essay in chat.
Okay, let me pause my stream. So he says, and I quote, "Some open worlds are really well done, opposed to some empty. Elect is an open world survival, but it's just boring. It takes away the fun that is a survival game and forces you to join a faction. You can actually get gear. Exploring the world has sort of been put on the... I can't read that because my fucking thing is in the way. Something live game, and it just feels focused on aspect." Okay.
Grammar Nazis are going to realize that is one long sentence.
That's fine. We don't care.
No, nobody here is going to care, and if they do, then tough shit.
No, I mean, we care about what he says. We don't... Oh, the grammar is this. Is like, fuck off.
That's not a big problem. Like, you know how I type.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case,
Yep.
a lot of the sorry. A lot of the things that actually put people off in Ark is the building. Like, surprise, surprise.
Right.
But S Plus, for a long time, has reinvigorated that. And a lot of new time players, like on YouTube, say the Yogscast, that's actually the biggest example. Everybody has implored them to install S Plus, and you will enjoy building. Because one of the people that plays it is a really good builder when it comes to, say, Minecraft or Terraria. He's a really good builder. Just building an Ark is so annoying. What's also great is that they added wires and pipes to be more dynamic, so you can stretch them between 2 points and then hide them and nobody will see them. So you can have like a really ugly circuitry system and no one will ever know.
Impressive. Like, that really... A lot. Especially with, like, if you're trying to, like, in a hypothetical sense, do like a machinima or something.
Yeah.
That would really help hide the shortcomings you have. Like, okay, we need to hide bars. Quick, put them here, 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 and here.
The issue right now is that dedicated servers are kind of dying because of this update. So some S Plus structures are not going to have the correct collision. So if you get, like, when this update comes out, it actually came out like yesterday. It came out not too long ago. I'm just gonna say that. I'm flustering over here.
Okay. It's fine, it's fine.
If you're playing like the current patch of Ark, I wouldn't necessarily say get rid of S Plus yet until they're likely not gonna fix this bug, 'cause they have millions of them. But I still would not recommend getting rid of S Plus yet. Just because you don't really know what it's going to do to your game.
Go on.
Another update that is, oh my gosh, this is like the best thing ever. It's the kibble update. So
Kibble?
no, this is very important. Kibble is made out of fruits, veggies, and eggs. It's delicious kibble that dinosaurs love. But I remember when I started playing Ark, finally, I kept showing you pictures of dinosaurs that would be great for your army and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The downside is, if you raise these critters. By the way, breeding a dinosaur, the baby is going to be 10 times better than the adult, by the way. Well, the offspring. But the problem is, when you raise a dinosaur, or any kind of critter, you have the issue of, like, you really wish it doesn't want kibble. What is that noise?
What noise?
There's a lot of noise coming from your end.
Really? I don't hear anything. Okay, now that's just me adjusting the chair.
Alright, you sound better now. But, whenever you raise a dinosaur, like, say, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, or a raptor or something, I blanked for a second there. I wanted to say a wyvern, but they only ever want cuddles, a walk, or milk. So, those are great things to tame. He posted another essay.
Okay.
Don't pause your stream. It's on a light color thing, so I'll just send you his essay.
Okay.
There he is. There you go.
Okay. He says, open worlds like Skyrim and Ghost Recon Wildlands are full of things to do, like fighting multiple enemies and completing multiple side quests. The open world I enjoy the most is Just Cause 4 right now. The release was a flop, but I don't mind that since I can keep blowing things up and enjoying the graphics. Also, the open world survival aspect of Ark and Fade to Silence is upper well done.
Super.
It doesn't feel super well done, and it doesn't feel boring, and has so much that can improve the fun. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But I remember this very clearly, and it pissed me off so much. I was raising up a dinosaur, and I collected a whole bunch of different types of kibble, because Yarrow's base had a whole bunch of kibble in the refrigerator, and it wanted kibble from a Dilophosaurus. Well, it was either Dilophosaurus... No, it wasn't. It was one of those little raptors that steals the eggs. Those really...
Oh, an Oviraptor.
Oviraptor, yeah.
Oviraptor.
It wanted kibble from that motherfucker. Nobody had that kind of kibble. I went to Yarrow's base, wasn't there. I went to Snow's base, wasn't there. I believe I handcuffed some people while at her base, too. I went to Nat's base, and I immediately turned back around, because Nat was not that well prepared anyway. And I came back to my base, it was already too late. That dinosaur had so much of its imprinting cut off, because it wanted that kibble. And
Jeez.
it's so annoying, because like, these dinosaurs want really, really, really specific kibble. And sometimes you can't get that. So what they have done with this update is that they have categorized kibble, so it's not individual. They have basic, simple, regular, superior, exceptional, and extraordinary kibbles. I think I might know what might be in the extraordinary, and it scares me. It's likely that the Giga and the Titanosaurus eggs... Well, not Titanosaurus now that I think about it. But the Giga eggs are going to be an extraordinary. Just because those dinosaurs are so terrifying. And so powerful. And yet, they don't really tame snakes very well.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
It's weird. It's really weird that they don't.
Well, I would suppose that this edition would really help, would add a lot of things to it.
Oh, yeah. Like, sometimes, when you're taming a dinosaur, kibble is a really helpful thing to use, because it'll tame them up faster. And we've been staring at this mansion for a while.
Oh, it looks nice.
It looks really, really nice. The battleship looks better. There we go.
Still, honestly, like I said, these editions will really help people, who haven't gotten into Ark yet.
This will greatly help new players, yeah. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I have to say, when it comes to taming dinosaurs, herbivores are the biggest pain in the ass unless you have kibble. Because with carnivores, all you need to do is like wait a couple seconds and give them mutton, and they are yours forever. But with plant like herbivores, you have a choice: purple berries, or really, really, really hard to find vegetables that rot very quickly.
No, I'm just listening. It's like,
Fear, please tell me that was an experience of yours. He said, Gigas are lots of fun when you're with friends, because you can just bola your friend, leave them in front of the Giga, grab the egg, and run. Like, every single comment I've seen... Yeah, that's been an experience, okay. Every comment I've seen in Dodo decks that has to do with taming a Rex or a Giga has actually said something similar. Bola your friend and run. Well, thank goodness you didn't do that to me. Thank gods. But no, it's not fun to tame an herbivore, even though they are very helpful. Oddly enough, vegetable cakes don't actually tame them faster, except if they're a sheep.
Because as we all know, sheeps are just downright annoying.
Sheeps in that game are quite literally resource animals. They're not really useful for anything else. You get wool from them, and you get mutton, which is what carnivores love. A lot more than prime meat, too.
Sounds delicious, if you ask me.
No, Ern, I would kill you.
But, okay, so basically... So this update would, like I said, make it easier for players to get into Ark. You know, they don't have to deal with the hassle of having to spend hours on resources, you know, to demolish and rebuild. Easier taming for some of the more unusual creatures, or rare ones, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
At least when it comes to at least with kibble, as this like revamping of kibble would really help. With
Gotta get on the bowl first. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have you know, I never get off my wyvern.
Let's see. So there's that. Is there anything else that this update brings with it?
Building better electricals and stuff. Kibble. No, not really.
Okay.
It's just, it improves building, it improves how you tame critters. Oh, it actually has a list of what goes in what. Wyvern is extraordinary. Good. That's good.
Okay, and it comes with a list. It's very good.
Rock elementals lay eggs? Oh, this is the kind of kibble they want. Took me a second.
Oh.
So produce-wise, Wyvern has extraordinary. Rock Drake is extraordinary. That makes sense. The duck makes extraordinary. But that also makes sense because they lay golden eggs. Yeah. But yeah, all in all, this update will help newcomers to the game.
Okay. Yeah. So that's one update that will help.
Yeah.
Alright then. So now comes the weekly monthly. Sorry, I'm looking at everything else in the world.
Do you want to go first since I ended it with Ark?
No, go ahead. Mine is always very so it ends very quick.
So every month or so, every month, except for we skipped one. And that was because of holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Every month we do this thing where we decide the Gundam of the month and the Pokemon of the month. Don't ask why we went with Pokemon and Gundam. It's just a spur of the moment thing. For Pokemon of the month, me and my friend Bill will spin 2 different wheels. One has the generations, the other has the types. And this month we rolled Generation 7, so that means Sun and Moon, the latest game, for now, and Dragon. And after reading through the very few dragon Pokemon that there are in Pokemon Sun and Moon, we went with the best one, just because of practical. We went with Dranpa.
Dranpa?
Grandpa Dragon. He was the only one that fit. Because when we decide these Pokemon, we're not looking at them as in, like, you know, how is this going to be perfect for a Pokemon team to fight? We're looking at them for... Thank you, Mom, for pulling out the chair. We're looking at them for practical use around everyday life. I'm pretty sure Komodo, the really metallic dragon that, like, jingles itself and is really, really fierce and unwavered by fear, would be perfect for your lifestyle, Rev. But in an everyday lifestyle, it's not. And Guzzlord is a no.
Just cleaner.
Guzzlord is a definite no. One, because his name is Guzzlord, and that just sounds really raunchy and awful. And two, it never stops eating. Nobody is ever going to be able to afford that thing.
To space? No, I'm kidding.
Three, it's gigantic and horrifying. So no, we went with Grandpa Dragon. Dranpa.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and my only...
Yeah, but it's when you
For
read...
this reason.
when you read about it, like, it kind of makes sense. Dranpa lives, like, very high up in the mountains, about 10,000 feet above sea level.
Alright.
And it really likes to eat berries, but it can't get any berries from that range, so it descends at dawn every day. And it really loves communicating with people and Pokemon. It's very friendly. But this is
so it's a social creature.
It's very social. But here's the part that makes it very interesting. This Pokemon is friendly to people and loves children most of all. It's very protective of children. If that child is in danger, they will go into berserk mode and protect that child. The more darker description is that if a child it has made friends with is bullied, Dranpa will find the bully's house and burn it to the ground. That's a bit much, but I've met some friends who have done that.
Just burn it to the ground.
Like, if they're willing to do that, then Jesus Christ. All in all, like, the best way I can think of this is it's a good babysitter. And but it's a babysitter you got to be a little careful with, like,
I see it more as something you watching a daycare or a nursery.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe even a teacher, but that is a big if.
Oh yeah. But
it doesn't look
weird
terrible.
is, like, I don't think I've ever noticed this before. It has 3 little tags above the defenses, and when you click on them, the defenses change. So when I select the Sap Sipper ability, which is very weird, grass becomes 0, which means it doesn't do anything to it. It's a very slow Pokemon, by the way.
Oh, I don't doubt it for a second.
Its speed is like 36. Minimum is 69. Max is 188, and that's its lowest stat. I really do wish Bill was here to help me with this.
Alright, so again, like I said, I in terms of like where this would fit in, like, you know, as the theme of this monthly thing goes, in terms of like where I would think it would fit with society and people, like I said, it is a perfect nursery creature or a caretaker, someone you'd likely hire to watch over the kids, but being cautious about, like, you know, where is it going to
but cautious of leaving it alone.
where is it going to watch? And you have to teach us, like, kids are kids. Don't be too tough on them if possible.
Yeah. All of its abilities, like a majority of its abilities, are all about protection or warding away danger. Very few of its abilities are actual damaging, like attacking. It actually has a power called Play Nice. Oh my god. What else does it have? Confine. That's Stomping Tantrum. Okay. But yeah, like I think this one would be good for, say, a nursery for like little babies or something like that.
Or very small kids too.
Yeah, just like if it's toddlers, it's gonna fly into a rage very quickly.
Yeah. So like kids, I would say 10, maybe 6, around that range.
Give or take, yeah. Just, I think the quote-unquote older a grandpa is, the more understanding it is of, like, a child's nature. So it wouldn't go too crazy. So maybe not put a young grandpa in, as the caretaker of these little kids. Because the daycare is not going to last very long.
That seems about right.
Yeah. But this does mean that, like, every single step of a child's life, there is a grandpa present.
Yeah, that seems about right.
But yeah, Grandpa is the Pokemon of March.
Alright then. A peculiar looking Pokemon thing. I like it.
Yeah.
Rather cute, very interesting. Very friendly too.
Yeah. You can always put a Greek Nordic mythology creature in a nursery. Oh my god. You know what you can't put in a nursery is an alien.
Especially one that would just eat everything. Like I said, that I find incredibly hilarious though. It's like, I'm gonna eat everything because fuck this place in particular.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Grandpa. It sounds so weird. It's so weird to say that. That's Grandpa.
It does sound like a colloquialism for like familial terms.
Yeah.
Alright. I guess it's up to me now. Or it's my turn, I should say.
Yep.
And yeah, so today, this month's mobile suit is again following the theme of mono-eyed mobile suits. However, this time around, we are not covering a Xeon mobile suit. Shocking, isn't it?
Shocking.
Instead,
I've seen this thing.
We are covering a Titan's mobile suit. And the Titan mobile suit we are covering is the RMS-108 Marasai.
All images are up. Thank you,
Alright.
Barnavere.
What do you say?
You can always put he's essentially saying you can put Discord from My Little Pony in a nursery.
Anyway. So, going into it, the Marasai is a Titan's mobile suit dedicated specifically to ace pilots of the Titans group. The Titans are an Earth Federation subgroup within their ranks. Effectively, they were meant to hunt down the remnants of the Xeon military, but they wound up abusing their power for rather unsightly things to occur. This included the, of course, death of an entire colony. as well as causing generally much worse things. The Titans used a modified version of a Zaku, referred to as a Hyzak, and the Marasai is effectively the elite version of a Hyzak. It is, of course, the Titans version has a red color scheme, i.e. for the elites, while the Zeon remnants, the ones who would return for vengeance years later, would take a green version, an updated and upgraded too, to be more in line with Zeon's original schematics and design, as well as its sensibilities. In terms of camera, the Marasai has two, the mono eye in the front of the head and a camera on its backpack, allowing it to have 2 degrees of vision, but not much else. In terms of armaments, the Marasai has the following: the Vulcan cannon, beam saber, the BR-87A beam rifle, the Phaedrian rifle, the Sea Serpent, a shield, and finally, the shield. It also had a special equipment. This is referred to as the Balut system. Now, you have no idea what that is, do you?
Nope.
It's basically a balloon that is designed to absorb heat on re-entry. And they would have these equipped on their chests and bodies in general. The idea is that the Marasai could enter Earth's atmosphere, but it required this system to be attached to its body. But it made it extraordinarily clunky, and it added to a target to them. It also activated automatically, so God forbid if you were below the enemy when you were down, you would get shot, killed. Unfortunate as that is. In terms of beam weapons, the beam rifle they had was an incredibly effective one, similar to the ones used by the Earth Federation as well. It had a bigger ammo capacity and was much stronger in terms of beams, but it wasn't, it was a step up of a normal beam rifle, not much. The Sea Serpent, on the other hand, is actually a very effective tool. The idea is that the Beam Serpent is a, how do I describe it? It is a handheld object which fires a small rocket to an enemy. The rocket has a wire connected to it and will wrap around a target's or an enemy mobile suit's limb. Then an electrical shock is sent, which will disable them. So if you had 4 Marasais, it was entirely possible to completely disable a enemy mobile suit just by using that tool. However, it is a one-use weapon. The moment the enemy figures out how they're restrained, and if they have free limbs, they can easily cut that wire, and thus the weapon becomes useless. So it's more of a capture them if you know you get the advantage. In terms of combat effectiveness, the Marasai was an ace pilot's mobile suit. It was effective, it could handle its own in battle, and it could even hold its own against a Gundam. However, it was still, at the end of the day, a Zaku. And as we all know, they aren't particularly known for long-lasting abilities. Now, HH, you asked me before if mobile suits had escape pods, yes?
Yeah.
The Marasai has one. I'll show it to you. The cockpit can be ejected in this sphere and retrieved at a later date.
Oh, I dropped my marble. Grab it.
The sphere is actually one gigantic screen, so you have a full 360 degrees of vision, but limited by the cameras. Yeah. So if you were quick, you could escape before your mobile exploded, or if you could escape by exiting the pod itself, it was completely feasible too. The Marasai's design also harkens back to the Zaku, i.e. the massive shoulder-mounted shield, the spike shoulder, and of course the commandant. Now, I do question why the Titans would create something that effectively is identical to a Zaku that was used by the enemy that they're supposed to be hunting, but whatever. I'm not the one who designs this shit. Other than that, its history is mostly around the Grips conflict and was released sometime after the 1-year war. They were used mostly exclusively by Titan pilots, aces in particular, but eventually they were downgraded and, after a while, no longer used. The Titans would eventually, after the Grips conflict was over, and the Neo-Zeon would rise up. During the first Neo-Zeon War, many Marusais would wind up being in the hands of the Neo-Zeon. They would be given the green color scheme, as we saw, and repurposed to be their frontline unit. This is mostly due to the limited amount of mobile suits they had to begin with. Years later, during the Universal Century 0096, several Marusais were used again to fight against the Federation on Earth. Most notably, one of them using I guess we could call it a base jabber, which is basically a fancy piloted sled, attempted to fight and take out a Gundam. Unfortunately, not a Gundam, sorry, a Federation mobile suit. Unfortunately, it would meet its demise. After Universal Century 0096, the Marusai would no longer see production. Instead, other versions and much stronger variations would be seen. Overall, in my opinion, the Marusai is a step up of the Gundam, and if you want to be intimidating and quasi-effective, this is the suit for you. However, like I said, there are other mobile suits that are far better than the Marusai. And really, at the end of the day, it is just a souped-up. It ain't saying much. So, any questions? Thoughts?
Still looks interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It would be a perfect thing you would use as kind of a guard mobile suit. Ornament. You keep it around for the sake of, this is the. I guess you could refer to it like the honor guard. You keep it around to intimidate people who would try to attack, but in actual combat, while it can hold its own and be effective, it can, it is nothing more than just an upgraded Zaku at the end of the day. Yeah, again, it kind of comes down to the pilot as well. And this is a lesson I have to keep, probably till I'm blue in the face. The mobile suit doesn't make the pilot makes the mobile suit.
Exactly.
Like everyone's... Go ahead.
It's the exact same when it comes to being an artist. Your tools do not dictate what you're drawing. It's how you use them. When I'm drawing on my tablet, that's actually how I draw in real life. There's no difference between pen and pencil and on a digital platform.
Exactly. And, to this day, people ask, oh...
They ask what?
What? They ask all the time, pilots, they always ask, oh, why do you always use the Galgoo, the Goof, or, the Gabaldi, these very situational mobile suits? I'm like, because I can make use of them, and I can actually whoop your ass. Mr. I need to be the most flashy thing in the universe, and thus I need to use every time this giant flashy Gundam. Yeah, I went there. I'm throwing shade on Gundam pilots. What up?
This is probably why I like my ugly more than defaults.
There you go. And that's something I want to see more. People, building their own ugly. Mobile suits cobbled together with other effective components. You can do it. You can make something impressive. Hell, that's why customs exist in the first place.
Yeah.
Why ace pilots create the custom units. Because they know their machine.
That video I showed you where that guy's little model was nothing anybody has ever really seen before when it comes to Gundam.
Yeah. Like I said, and I'll say this again, day I die. It's the suit. Oh, someone's here. Jesus H. Christ. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is live with a bunch of women. They scream like harpies.
I'm not even going to argue with that.
Yeah, and there you go. That's her ugly right there. The body of a Dom, the arms of a High Gog, the shoulders of a Goof, the legs of a Jim, and the head of a Zaku.
Oh no, it was the shoulders and head of a Goof.
Oh yeah, with the V crest of a Gundam, specifically as a way to mock the Gundam. And arms, small grabbers. That's actually... Someone dropped something. And like I said, this is why I hate Gundams. The mobile suit, not the show or anything. Because everyone's like, oh, they're so great and everything. It's like, motherfuckers, just a souped-up suit.
Yeah.
And shall we count all the times when a Gundam gets completely totaled by someone? Or are we not going to go there? I didn't think so. Oh, I actually missed something. I should have mentioned about the Morosai. Its rifle, the Fidian rifle, actually can create a beam. Not only is it used as a gun, but it can also be used as a spear, or a spear-like sword. So again, it has that on top of a regular. Actually, I'll show it right here. On top of the, I guess, Zaku. I'm sure someone's going to say, but aren't you a Zaku?
In the ending title, like the ending image, that you're a Zaku.
Exactly. It's
you're
like,
not
aren't
a Zaku, you're a Goof.
True. It's like, I'm looking to upgrade the chassis. Just give it some time. I'm waiting for the parts to come in. It'll happen eventually. But yeah, basically, that weapon not only fires beams, but if you need to use it as a blade, just flip it on its side. Use the handle as a sword. There you go.
That's very, very creative.
Well, that's the thing about... Like, I'll give credit to the Titans when it came to design. They did build weapons for the mobile suits to be dual purpose as well. And, Neo Zeon and the Zeon Remnants kind of took that design and kept building on top of it to more intricate weapons. And like I said, credit where credit's due. Still hate the faction, but whatever. The Federation, not Zeon. It's like, I have to put that distinction or I'm going to get shot again. Anyway, so yeah, that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
Alright. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in once again to this week's episode of Left for Random Talk. Please stay tuned for HH has some information she has to say, like always. And we will see you all next Thursday. See ya.
Okay, it's just me in the audience now, as it was with the break. Sorry, I'm a little tired right now. So I say this every time that I stream or at the end of one of these podcasts. Down below in the description on YouTube and also down below on Twitch, there is a link and a creeper face that says support the stream by clicking here. Don't click on it. It doesn't work yet. I'm still working on that. It's just being a big pain in the ass. What really does help us out is if you spread the word that we're live. If you're on Tumblr, you retweet it. If you're on Twitter... I mixed that up. If you're on Tumblr, you reblog it. If you're on Twitter, you retweet it. Because we're still trying to get our official Twitter going. What do you think about the SCP? I'm gonna send that to Rev so he can read that. Rev has already hopped off the call, and I'm out of the call as well, so he would have to call me. like, try and get into contact with me to actually answer that for you. It's just not gonna work. But, yeah, what helps us out is, like, just spreading the links around, getting the word out that we're going. It helps. I try to stream every day. It's not been happening very much lately. I streamed yesterday, and that was the artwork. I really want to keep doing that. Just haven't really had the strength to do it. For the most part, we stream this podcast every Thursday. And the days that I do stream, it's likely going to be Sundays. Okay, I was not expecting that. Soldier Boy, you're showing up right at the end. I'm sorry. For those of you who are watching us on Twitch, we are going to host my good friend Lycan Alpha. For those of you who are on YouTube, this is where we end. I am very sorry for those of you who are coming in late. But I need to hop off. I'm getting tired, and I want to do some other things. Saturdays are D&D. I have D&D on Friday, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Every other day I'm good, except I have 2 little dogs I have to take care of, so it all depends how much strength I have. And Sunday is the only day where they're not here until really late at night. But no, it has to be Sunday. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next Thursday, and I hope to see you guys on Sunday. We'll see. For now,